I'm Marlia from Kearsarge Nordic, and today I'm going to be showing you how to clean Klister off of your classic skis. To start, Klister is very messy and very gross, and by the time you use it, it's going to be full of dirt and little bits of leaves and sticks and all sorts of nasty stuff. So I have today, this is just a Swix metal scraper. You can use a putty knife or any hard plastic scraper that you're not using to scrape your glide wax, because it will get very messy and very sticky. I also have a rag here that I have doused just by doing this, and a little bit of Swix wax cleaner. And then I have a green Scotch pad that I'm going to use after using my metal scraper. I also have a blowtorch, and I'm going to use the blowtorch and the scraper in pretty much the same method that I used to put it on. Heat the wax a little, and scrape. It's going to get pretty goopy pretty quick. So after it gets pretty gross, I'm going to just take part of the rag that I wet with the Klister cleaner and wipe it off. This is going to help it clean better and just make less of a mess in the final product. I'm going to go back through and hit it again. A really important thing is to make sure you're not scraping the Klister outside of your kick zones. You really don't want to get it into that zone where your glide wax is, because that's going to severely impact your glide. Once most of the big globs of Klister are off, you can put down your putty knife or your metal scraper, whatever you're using for that, and move on to the Scotch pad. Now, the way that you actually add the wax cleaner to the Scotch pad is really important because these things are super porous. It's going to hold a lot of liquid, but it's also, you can't put nearly as much in it as you can put in this just cotton rag that I have. So I'm just going to gently, very gently, tip a little bit of liquid into the pad. Oh, and see, just like that, it all comes right out. I'm going to use these drips to my advantage, and then just scrub. Again, making sure that I'm not getting it outside of the kick zone. Super important. You can also get into your grooves here because the Klister loves to hide in there. Another thing that might happen that will happen when you Klister your skis is Klister will get everywhere. So oftentimes it'll be all down the sides of your skis. Now, because I just put this Klister on and didn't use it, there's not much here, so I'm not going to worry about cleaning the sides of my skis. But after you've used Klister even just once, it's probably going to be everywhere. So you're really, really going to want to make sure that the sides of your skis are clean, because then when you go to put them back in your bag, you're not getting all your other skis dirty and disgusting. Just going to do a little scraping here to get all the yucky gunk off. So really what you're looking for in a nice clean ski is no sticking. As I'm kind of running the Scotch pad down the ski, I can feel it gripping to the sides of the ski, and I know that there's more Klister there. So what I'm going to do now is just take the clean part of the rag that I didn't use to clean my scraper. I'm going to get a little Klister cleaner on there and try to wipe all of the spots that I just hit with the Scotch pad. So we're looking pretty good right now. As I'm running the rag over the ski, I'm not feeling a lot of sticking, and that's really what you're going for. You want it to be as clean as possible so you can put your next wax on there. And never neglect the groove. Make sure you get as much wax as you can out of the groove. It's really important because the groove's purpose is to break up, even more than the glide wax, is to break up the suction that happens when your ski basically goes flat onto the snow. So your groove is really important. It's a place for the water that melts from the contact of your ski to shoot out the back as you're zooming along. All right, so that's pretty clean right now. I'd say that this ski is pretty clean. On to the next one.